This entire tragic incident caught on camera. This video from the busy daycare center at the exclusive Bay Club in El Segundo, now at the heart of a lawsuit. You can see the 23-month-old boy in the green shirt reaching for the worker who takes his hands.
And we have a toddler who ends up getting a brain injury from a daycare worker. I don't understand how that happened, but it looks like they ended up trying to cover it up.
A local family says their toddler suffered a severe injury while attending the daycare center at the upscale Bay Club in El Segundo, and that family now filing a lawsuit. The entire incident caught on surveillance camera. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter live tonight with more on those legal claims and the disturbing video. Leanne.
Mark, the toddler's parents say that video clearly shows the daycare's negligence and the devastating impact on their young son. That video is graphic, and you may find it difficult to watch. This entire tragic incident caught on camera. This video from the busy daycare center at the exclusive Bay Club in El Segundo, now at the heart of a lawsuit. You can see the 23-month-old boy in the green shirt reaching for the worker who takes his hands. The woman starts to swing the little boy through her legs once, twice, then all the way up in the air over her head, letting go of his hands as he comes crashing down onto the floor. We've stopped the disturbing video just before the boy strikes the ground. The woman then appears to topple over on top of the toddler. Other staffers watching in shock. The incident happened last March at the Bay Club.
You did something wrong. Okay, yeah. The daycare worker did something inappropriate, and she has to face the consequences for it. It seems like a simple case. So, did they cover it up?
Clubhouse, a daycare facility for members of the upscale Bay Club and Manhattan Country Club. The parents of the little boy, identified as CK, filing suit against the company, alleging negligence and fraud. They say the daycare lied about what happened to their son when workers told them about the incident. According to the claim, the Bay Club falsely represented that an employee fell over while she was in a squatting position and holding CK, and that CK was only about 1.5 feet above the ground when the fall occurred. This was a complete lie. The boy's parents pointing to the security footage showing he was about 6 feet above the ground. Clear evidence, they say in the suit, of the daycare's carelessness. More than a year later, the parents claim their son is suffering symptoms like hearing loss from the traumatic brain injury caused by the fall.
Why lie about it? I know you don't want to get sued or anything like that, but you have security cam footage. Why put more emphasis? Well, I mean, I guess the daycare would have been sued either way, not just her. But come on, now we can't be ignorant. Now they're clearly going to look at the footage and see that was not 1.5 feet. If that's 1.5 feet, I'm about 10 feet tall. Or no, I'm like 2 feet tall. But let's keep going on.
And we reached out to the Bay Club for comment. In a statement, it says that it cannot comment on ongoing litigation and it says that safety is its highest priority.
I don't know if this was a nefarious act or anything like that, but the daycare worker definitely made a mistake. And the mistake could have killed a child. So she has to be held responsible. And since she works for the daycare has to be held responsible as well. But let's keep going into this next video and see what else it tells us, y'all.
A California family is suing a fitness club after video surfaced that appears to show a child care worker throwing and dropping their son. Just a warning for you, this video may be disturbing to some viewers. In that security camera footage, you'll see the 2-year-old can be seen here reaching for the worker before that person appears to lift the child over her head and throw him. We're freezing the video before the child actually falls to the ground. According to the lawsuit, the toddler suffered a traumatic brain injury and vision issues as a result. The Bay Club gym facility tells NBC News that it's not going to comment while the investigation is ongoing, but that the safety of its members is its, quote, highest priority. NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalas joining us now to discuss this. Danny, the family claims that the child care facility at the gym is illegal and unlicensed, but some states, including California, do have these legal exemptions for some child care providers. Would this facility fall under that? And what do parents, more importantly, need to know about these exemptions when they're looking for childcare for their kids?
This is a very interesting set of facts because California does require licensing of childcare facilities. However, there's an exemption if the parents remain on the premises. And in this case, the father apparently left and went to another club about a mile away. So, knowing that, was this facility required to be licensed, and did they fail to do so? And if they were licensed, they would have a higher standard. But in reality, the licensing requirement helps the plaintiff, but they would likely still have a case anyway. This just makes them hold the defendant to a higher standard and increases their already, in my view, very strong odds of a successful outcome.
Yeah, there also seems to be some dispute, Danny, as to how high the child was thrown. What consequences could both the employee and the facility now be facing?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much of a dispute now. Before the video, apparently, at least according to the complaint, the facility said, oh, the child only fell from about 1.5 feet. And that's a real problem for this defendant because people may lie, but videos don't generally lie. And that video that we just saw does not lie. So now you may have an intentional cover up by the facility itself. A major question is going to be who was authorized to make that statement to the parents, which was clearly not true, at least according to the video and the complaint. So if you have an additional element of concealment, then you have fraud. And if nothing else, it strengthens the plaintiff's case and will really infuriate a jury.
Right. Video.
It sounds like that they are going to win some money. If not through the actual suit, it's going to be a settlement. Because a lot of things don't add up. And like he said, the icing on the cake is that you lied about how high he fell from. 1.5 feet versus over 6 feet or around 6 feet. That's a big difference now. But let's finish up this video.
Evidence is what video evidence is. Danny Savalas for us. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely wild, y'all. Let's get over into the AI breakdown just to break down this a little bit more and see what else we can find out. Let's get into it. So as we know, the parents of a 23-month-old toddler has filed a major lawsuit after security footage reveals a worker at the daycare threw their child into the air, causing a traumatic brain injury and permanent hearing loss. So the lawsuit centers on the incident on March 17, 2025 at the Bay Clubhouse child care facility. Surveillance footage shows a 23-year-old female employee swinging the toddler identified as CK through her legs before tossing him roughly 6 feet into the air over her head. The worker failed to catch the toddler. He crashed onto the hardwood floor and the employee subsequently toppled backwards directly onto him. Doctors confirmed that the severe impact caused internal cranial bleed, a traumatic brain injury, developmental regression, and irreversible hearing loss due to the audible nerve trauma. Wow. Yeah, somebody got to pay. Somebody got to pay. So the legal complaint, filed by the law firm Rosen Sabi, I don't know how to say that, includes several accusations against the facility management. So one is the false claim. So the management initially called the father and allegedly lied, stating that the employee simply fell over from squatting position and that the child fell from only 1.5 feet off the ground. The lawsuit alleges the unlicensed facility. So the lawsuit alleges that the child care facility was operating without a regular California daycare license. The Bay Club claims an exception, but state records show no active license or pending application for the site. So that was an interesting thing that they talked about. So basically, if they're a fitness club and you remain in the building, they can get an exemption to watch the child and not be truly classified as a daycare if you're still on the facility. But I'm assuming if they make you sign something to be like, we are not liable if you choose to leave the facility. I wonder if they'll bring that up or if that's even a thing. So the family is suing both the individual worker and the parent corporation, the Bay Club. The civil complaint seeks damages, negligence, battery, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Representatives from the corporation have declined to comment publicly, citing the ongoing litigation, as we know they would. But overall, just based clearly off the video, we know that the employee did something wrong. And especially since the daycare themselves lied about it, and lied about the height of the fall, it sounds like this is going to be a clear-cutting case lawsuit to where they're going to get some kind of money, or they're going to try to get a settlement, or the daycare is probably going to try to settle. It's a tragic situation, and you got to be careful who you leave your children with. You never know, and you never know when accidents can happen. Because we got to tell how it is. Did she do something irresponsible? Yes. But was it an accident? 100%. I don't think she clearly meant to hurt the child. She was swinging him like you would do a normal child. You do got to be careful. But accidents is still negligence. If you do something to where a potential for the child to get hurt, and if something messes up, he gets hurt, that's negligence. As simple as that. But she's definitely not going to be at a daycare anytime soon. Another daycare. But let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a tragic case. It sounds like the kid is going to struggle a lot. But this is why we got to review this stuff, y'all.